I listened to the new NoCap album at least 30 times, and here's my review. So to start, I don't understand if these artists really want to be different or if they even got into the rap game to be different. Because it seems like all of these artists rap and talk about the same thing over and over, and none of their ability to get their point off is different. Nothing is different about them except for their accents. That's the only thing that I got from the new NoCap album, is that he uses auto-tune, he's 25 years old, he's from Alabama, and his accent is different from everybody else's accent, so it may give it a little different feel when you hear his album. But to me, it's all the same. I remember finally getting to my new favorite artist, and I was like, he's so different from the pack. The way that he talks, the things that he talks about is way different. His perspective on similar stories from other artists are different. So I was like, oh, I can connect with that. He's different, and I like the way he raps. When I listen to NoCap, I don't get that. I give this album at least, I would give it a 5 because all of the music sounds sonically good. Nothing sounds terrible, but nothing sounds great. Nothing sounds exceptional. This album doesn't sound like an album or a masterpiece or a body of work where a person put their best foot forward so that they can stand out. This album sounds like everybody else's album in the pack. If NoCap didn't have a different accent from the other people in the pack, I wouldn't even be able to differentiate if NoCap is a different artist than Rilo or VZ or Little Baby. I wouldn't even understand how to differentiate them because they all talk about the same thing and they do it the same way. No one gets more in depth than the other. Starting to feel like these new rappers are becoming a monolith. Like everybody shares the same experiences. And I'm not going to say that we all have different experiences in life, but we all have a different perspective or we all have a different take. And the crazy thing is that I'm saying this about rap albums, but it's the same with podcasts. All of the podcasts are the same. There's not much you can do when you're just talking about topics. The best thing you can try to do is be different and having a different take or speaking on everything that everybody is speaking about, but go into it deeper or have a different perspective. But when I'm listening to this rap album, I don't see a different perspective. I don't see a different take on the struggle that people have in Alabama compared to the struggle that people have in Chicago. To me, it sounds like everybody lives in the same place, and the only thing that differentiates them is that, oh, he might say the word two different than he says the word two, but the story is all the same, and to me, it sucks. So I already gave my rating and my perspective on an album, but I don't want you to think that this album doesn't have some good material. It does have some good songs. I may have took 3 songs from this album. I really like the song Feelings that he did with this Afrobeat artist. It sounded really good. I didn't even expect him to do that. So I applauded him with that and I put it on my Apple Music. The other song I liked was a song that he had with Sleepy Hollow called Bridge in London. It was really good. Sleepy Hollow was refreshing to hear compared to the same old tone and accent and auto-tone use from NoCap. So the feature, it sounded really good together. I like that song. Another song I like was Diamond Blick. It sounded really good. And a lot of the songs I've noticed on this album, they have a big influence of R&B in it. And I love R&B, so I was a fan of that. Then the last song that I added on the album was Greece or Sweden. And it's with another part of the pack, Rilo. And if they didn't say certain words differently or their tones weren't different, I would have just thought this was a NoCap song. But I did like the song. I did like what they did on the song, so I give them credit for that. After listening to this album, I came out with 2 takeaways. The rap game is a monolith currently, and 2, Tyler, the Creator, not only smoked Ian with his take on him, but he also smoked the game with his take on everybody sounding so similar.
2003. Jay didn't sound like T.I., who didn't sound like 50. Pharrell didn't sound like Dre, who ain't sound like fucking Quick, who ain't sound like Ye or Just Blaze or Alchemist.
Everybody doing the same thing. And this is why, even though I hate on Yachty, and Yachty is a part of the picture of the people that are similar to each other in this video, but I will give Yachty credit for one. He said that there's a lot of imitation, and that was true. But the only thing I didn't like about that is that he ended up going following the imitation. Two, I fuck with Yachty when he does alternative music because he sounds very different. He sounds like he wants to be different from the pack. But why I did put him on the cover of this video is because when he is rapping and when he is rapping with them, although I believe that he raps better than them sometimes, he tells the same story and he talks about the same thing that all of these guys do. I don't want you to think that I put all these guys on the cover because I'm saying that they're trash. No, they all have good music. They all make music that I may like. None of them are garbage. None of them are garbage at all. They're not the greatest, but none of them are garbage. But they all do similar things. And that's why I go back to what Tyler, the Creator, said. He cooked the current culture and era of hip-hop because what he said was true. All of these guys sound the same. Tell me if I'm bugging in the comments. I don't think I'm tripping. I don't think Tyler was tripping. And I don't want this to be perceived as hate. All I want it to be perceived as is, yo, as a consumer, we like the music, it's good, but can somebody be different? Thank you for watching. It's Tony.